Hello, everyone, and welcome to another month of Moody Talks. This month, we are talking about anger. And I know for a lot of people who have been watching this, that has been the emotion that they've been waiting for, to learn more about, to understand better, and to get some coping skills for when they feel that anger, right? So anger has, it gets a really bad rap because all emotions are valid, and so is anger. Anger teaches us something. Anger puts us in, a space where we want to react to something that could be a threat, right? Let's see, what are some of the things that we want to talk about anger? Let's say something really bad happened and someone like you disrespected you. You've lost some respect in some way from someone. And that's something to be angry about. When, your child disrespects you, says something really nasty, of course you're going to get angry about that, right? You shouldn't be disrespecting you. So there's that. There's also like you worked really hard on something and it didn't come to fruition. Like maybe you worked really hard on, something at work and it didn't get picked up. It didn't get, and you didn't get the, the response that you wanted, right? When you've worked so hard on something, that's when anger is legitimate. What else? When there's a threat, your body can get angry when there's a threat, whether it's emotionally or physically. Your body goes to anger as a protection, right? When you're in that fight mode, you can protect yourself or a loved one if someone else is being threatened, right? So those are legitimate reasons why we have anger. Okay? Now, how do we describe anger? We have so many words that are of use to being, used to describe anger. And so we're going to go through some of those because as I always say, the first week, I always talk about the descriptive words that we use when we are talking about emotion because we want to know the intensity of our feelings, right? And so that's why I want to put together a list of words that describe anger and put it on a intensity scale so that when you look back, you can say, I said this particular word, descriptive word about my anger. And now I understand that I'm feeling it this intensely, right? I think that's really important for us to do. So let's get into it. These are only some of the many, 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 many words we use for anger. And you can put together your own list of the words that you use, in particular for anger. And that's really important, okay? So let's go into them. There's aggravated, rage, annoyed, vengeful, frustrated, irritated, hostile, furious, bitter, exasperated, grumpy, wrath. Wow, so there's a long range of emotions here, right? So we're going to put them on the word scale. Here we go. Here's my word scale. You guys can create your own word scale. This is so important so that you understand when you're feeling a particular word, when you want to say that word, you're able to understand how intensely you're feeling it, how angry you actually are. So for me, I put grumpy, annoyed, and irritated lower on the scale. So these are least intense for me. Then I move into the middle and I get frustrated, bitter, aggravated, and on the other side of 5 is exasperated, right? So these are words that kind of are in the middle of my intensity scale. So I'm feeling them moderately intensely, okay? And then we move into the other half of the scale, which is the higher intensity. So hostile, it's around a 7 for me. Furious, rage, wrath. And then my final one, I said vengeful. When I'm vengeful, I am intensely feeling anger, okay? So that's what I do with these scales every month. You'll see in every episode with an emotion that we're going to go through that. We're also going to go through body sensations when we're angry, right? These are great to understand as well, because sometimes we're not exactly sure what we're feeling, right? We are not sure if we're feeling anger or we're feeling intense sadness or, guilt or shame. Could be or fear, right? There are so many emotions that we can mix up. So some of these sensations we feel with other emotions, but tightened muscles where we just clamp up. Remember, that's like the fight or flight, right? If we're tensing up, we're getting ready for a fight. We're standing our ground, right? Getting ready for that. Teeth clamped, so really tight. This I do a lot. I actually broke a tooth once from being so angry and just grating my teeth so hard that I broke a tooth. So, yeah, I'm a little better now. Hands clenching. Again, that fight mode, that I'm so angry, getting ready for something, right? Face flushed and hot, right? We feel this for shame or, embarrassment or guilt or something. We may feel it for that. But have you been in that real angry mode? And I think that's why they use it in the Feelings movie that they have on Disney, where he's a hothead, right? We get really, really hot and flushed. Okay. Wanting to hit something. This is when you're feeling anger intensely, I'm sure. I mean, maybe not. Maybe you feel it slightly and you still want to slam down on a pillow or something, right? And can't hold back tears. So, your whole entire body is reacting, including your tear ducts, because your face is flushed. You're feeling it all here. You clamped, like jaw, your face is hot. Everything is reacting in that moment, right? So these are just some of the feelings that we get the body sensations we get when we're angry. And, how do we react? Sometimes we react, subtly. Again, other times we can react more intensely. What are things that we do? Well, in my days, I've done some rage driving, getting angry when someone, does something stupid in traffic, right? So we react in that way. We act aggressively at times when we're feeling anger, right? And that's, something that we all need to learn to control. And that's okay. We feel these emotions and we haven't really taught ourselves how to appropriately react to them. This is why we're doing this. And this is why we talk about coping skills and learning how to decrease our anger so that we can be in what DBT calls wise mind. So there's emotion mind and there's reason mind. And in order for us to react appropriately to our emotions, we need to be in wise mind, which is the middle ground. So walking the middle path between the reason mind and the emotion mind. And I think most of the time when we get angry, we're hitting emotion mind a lot more than reason mind. So I hope you enjoyed this and learned a little bit about how we need to talk more about our emotions, how we need to learn more about the words that we use for anger so we understand the intensity we're feeling in them. Next week, we'll start going into some coping skills. And DBT has such a great range of coping skills that you can put in your toolbox for anger. So have a great rest of your week, and I will see you next week. Bye.